All right, we are going to be talking about the Super Mario Bros. Movie. I've seen it. Spark's seen it. Spark's going to be joining me to talk about it. So, Spark, how'd you like it?
Man, I enjoyed it from beginning to end. How about you?
Oh, same here, because it was just pure Nintendo. That's the only way I could describe it. 100%.
I can agree with that.
Yep, 100%.
It relied heavily on your knowledge of the series as well. Hey, quick question. In the beginning, in the city, wasn't that the mayor? Wasn't that the mayor? What's her name?
Pauline?
Pauline. Wasn't that Pauline?
It was Pauline.
I thought so. I was like, hey, isn't that Pauline? But I didn't know for sure. I'm like, what? Why was she? Well, I guess it would make sense that she's in the real world instead of like the Mushroom Kingdom. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, yeah, now that I think about it.
And that's what I like. It's like pure Nintendo. Whatever cameo they could squeeze in, they squeezed in.
They did.
Just like what you were talking about earlier, there was the scene where the Toad said, sorry, the princess is in the other castle.
I died at that part.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I just burst out laughing because I just couldn't hold it. And I'm like, these Toads are such trolls.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I don't know if you noticed that Mario was like playing Kid Icarus.
He was.
Yep.
Yeah, he had a Nintendo. He had the old school NES and he was playing Kid Icarus.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And
so, go ahead, Shane.
Oh, no, you go ahead.
No,
yeah.
I was going to say, let's talk about the characters in particular. Like, I want to know, how did you feel about each individual characters, at least the main characters and the portrayals of those characters? Like, for me, I like what they did with Princess Peach in particular, because she wasn't a damsel in distress. She was competent. She could hold her own. But at the end of the day, of course, Mario is the protagonist, so he had to get his shine. But I like how they established that she was worlds ahead of him in terms of being able to maneuver in the Mushroom Kingdom with the obstacle courses and everything, because she had been there. She grew up there. So of course she would just be a natural at it at this point in life, where Mario had to learn it because it was all new to him.
Yep. I could understand that, because this is basically unironically like an isekai moment.
Yes.
Yeah. And excuse me, I have to cut that part out. But no, like I was saying, since we started with Peach, my opinion of Peach, ironically, she was mid-tier for me, because...
Was she?
Yes, and it has nothing to do with like the voice actor or anything like that, or how like she was competent or all that. To me, it was her softer moments that popped out to me the most. Because to me, that's when I was like, oh, okay, this is the Princess Peach I knew.
Okay.
Not a damsel in distress, but how she's the soft-spoken princess of the game.
I agree. She fell more in line with just being the princess, opposed to being like a what do you call it, a heron? Yeah, because that's kind of what she was. A heroine, yeah. I call her a heron. A heroine. Yeah, it's like
that's what I think so.
Yeah. So she took on more of a role of being a hero, which, yeah, when you look at the context of the franchise, and she's never really done that except for like her little standalone games and things. So you're right. She had moments where she would kind of fall into the role that we're used to her being throughout the series, opposed to her being like front and center, take charge. Like, she was battle hardened in the movie for a lot of her scenes. She was kind of like that.
Yes, and when she was in those battle hard moments, to me it felt like I was watching Princess Daisy, in my opinion. Because I could see Princess Daisy being like that, because, she does have that tomboyish personality.
True, very true.
Yep. But other than that, though, if they would have made her a little bit more, like, softer, then to me, she would have been, more up there. But I liked her. And just to clarify, too, all the characters, none of them are, like, in the bottom tier.
Okay.
They never go below the mid tier, in my opinion. So just to point that out, that's how good.
Okay, I bet I know who's in your top tier.
Oh yeah, definitely, because that's how good the movie is. There's nobody in the bottom tier.
Yeah, nobody. I would agree. No bottom tier character. You have mid tier, and then you just have the high tier.
Yep.
High tier, which I'm sure you agree, Bowser. Like Bowser for sure. He's probably at the top.
Oh, definitely, because as soon as he's introduced, he made the impression, and the impression never slipped.
Never. Yeah, like you could tell that Jack Black was having fun playing that character.
Yep. And I was gonna say too, you can't even tell it's Jack Black unless you listen for like him during like one of the voice lines where Bowser doesn't speak like very groggily.
Yeah.
But other than that,
I agree.
You can't even tell it's Jack Black.
And they did do a good job at making him very menacing. Like there were moments where you're like, I wouldn't cross this guy, you know? And like there were comical elements to his character, but there were definitely the more darker tones too. Like, I mean, I think you said this to me before that you thought that it was a little more violence in the movie than you would have expected it to be. Like Bowser literally was ready to sacrifice. Like I was like, whoa, like this is pushing it. He was going to sacrifice characters.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, I did tell you that unironically that it's more darker like than the Sonic, movie.
It is. Sonic is more lighthearted than the Mario movie, the Super Mario Bros. Movie.
Yeah, definitely, because just like you said, Bowser was trying to sacrifice people, and especially his fight scene with Mario, where he gets all like buggy-eyed, like super annoyed.
Yeah, where he completely lost it. Because Bowser has, what do you call it? A crazy obsession with Princess Peach.
Yes.
So when he felt... Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, and I like that they didn't change that about him. Where he...
Yeah, because... Go ahead. Yeah, I was surprised by that too.
Yeah, I was just gonna say where he, just wants to marry Princess Peach because he likes her.
Yeah, he loves her, Shane.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he loves her. And I mean, the fact that he basically laid the law by saying like, because what's the character, his right hand man?
Kamek.
What's that character? Hammock. So he was like, so what if she doesn't want to marry you? And then he was just basically like, he went full throttle. He said, I'll destroy the entire kingdom. And I was like, whoa, like this is deep. Like this is obsession on a whole nother level. And then when he got the inkling of Mario being there, and then it's like, wait, does she like him? And then from there it was like that crazy obsession to the point where he's like, well, I'll take him out. And I'm like, well, man, this is really pushing it. But like you said, they stayed true to his character.
Oh yeah. And I know that scene that you're talking about where the Koopa like raises his hand and he's like,
oh, that's that scene. You're right. I got it mixed up. The Koopa raised his hands and he was like, well, what if she says no? And he roasted him.
Turned him into a dry bone.
Yeah. Oh man, it was great.
It was. It's just like it was kind of dark but at comical at the same time.
At the same time, yeah, but it definitely has some darker moments. And was it just me? But when Luigi first went into, what did they call it? The dark? What do they call that realm? The Shadow Realm? It's like the dark or Shadow Realm or whatever you want to call it.
I believe so. Darklands or Shadowlands.
Darklands. That's what I believe it is. The Darklands. So was it just me, or did you get Luigi's Mansion vibes from that?
I definitely did.
Yo, I said they could probably make a spinoff and do Luigi's Mansion also.
I was gonna say, how do you feel about Luigi's portrayal and performance from Charlie Day?
I thought it was spot on. I thought his portrayal was more, what I want to say, more convincing, more believable than Chris Pratt's Mario. I believe that he knew that he got the essence of the character right. Luigi was scary. You know, he acted as you would expect him to act. He's not as courageous as Mario, and that showed. You know, he kind of pranced around and when he got in the Darklands, and he was always running and scared of everything. I thought that was great.
Yep, I agree with that as well, especially even though he isn't a big part of the film now that you think about it, because he's mostly locked up in the cage.
True.
It still felt like, you know, he was, you know, part of that movie.
Yeah, you feel like he has more screen time than he really does.
Oh,
but
yeah,
he doesn't
definitely.
that much. You're absolutely right about that. But you know who stole the show from me? I don't know if you'll agree. And I want to make sure I say it right before I mention it. It's the what do they call them? The looms?
Oh, the Luma?
The Luma stole the show, Shay.
So you like that one little cameo character?
Luma, and he was so depressing. It's like, oh my god! Like, talk about like the raining on everybody's parade. Bad enough everyone's trapped in these cages and they have lava underneath them, and the Luma isn't making it any better. It's like, death is coming. I'm just like, wow.
I was gonna say, yeah, that Luma probably got a life sentence and was like, I'm over it now. How did you feel about, you know, DK and his role in the movie with Seth Rogen's portrayal as well?
You know, I'm not the biggest Seth Rogen fan, but I thought he was fine. There were parts where I could tell it was Seth Rogen, but then there were parts where I couldn't at all. Mm-hmm. But I don't know. It's I believe you said it before. Sometimes it felt like he was just reading the script. Yeah, and he wasn't really embodying the character. But when they introduced the character and they're doing the DK, you know, Donkey Kong, you know, all of that.
Yeah, the DK rap.
He was DK all the way when they introduced him. You know, I was like, oh, he's Donkey Kong. And I was like, this is a believable Donkey Kong. I'm surprised because I just didn't think Seth Rogen could pull that off, but he did. And overall, I thought the character was handled well. I was wondering, okay, if Donkey Kong has a leading part in this movie, then how would that play out? Because I was wondering, like, when it became like him versus Bowser, how do you allow him not to outshine Mario and Luigi? Mm-hmm. Because Donkey Kong would be the more physical, powerful character that I would think has a better chance at taking out Bowser than Mario and Luigi than they do. But they downplay him just enough, you know, and then Mario and Luigi got a buff, which allowed them to overcome Bowser. And I thought that was handled well.
Oh yeah, definitely. And ironically for me, Donkey Kong was the very lower part of...
in terms of the rankings?
Yeah, how I would rank them, you know, characters and all that stuff. Because like I said, Seth Rogen did do a good job when he was voice acting, in my opinion at least. But there were times where he sounds like he was just reading off the script.
Right.
Because I was expecting Seth Rogen to act more, and I mean this unironically, like Seth Rogen, where he would like parody himself.
But he didn't.
Yeah,
he didn't do that. No, he didn't.
Yeah. But
he was fine. But I do agree with you. Like, in terms of the tier, he's mid-tier for sure.
Oh yeah, like to me, he's the last one if we're gonna be talking about like performance and otherwise.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's not like F tier or anything. He did do a good.
No.
Yeah, he did do a good job. I just felt like if he would have been more comically Seth Rogen-y.
He would have been better.
Oh yeah, definitely. And
yeah, because he wasn't Seth Rogen really. He was more DK.
Yep. Yep. And just like you said, his character, the way they wrote him in the movie, it was perfect. You know.
Yeah. Yeah, they downplayed him enough where he wouldn't outshine Mario and Luigi. Even the fight with Mario, DK was superior in every way, but of course they leveraged it. The way they leveraged it was by Mario getting the power up, which gave him the advantage. But
at the end,
yeah, before then, Mario didn't stand a chance.
Oh no!
And I was like, oh man, like this is all bad.
Yep. And
that was a nice little homage to Smash Bros.
It kind of was, yeah. I agree with that.
Yeah, they threw a little bit of everything in there. Mario Kart, Rainbow Road. I know you probably geeked out by that.
Oh yeah, definitely. But
we got to talk about Toad. What did you think about Toad and his performance?
He is above Donkey Kong in my opinion. However, Michael, what's his name? Because I always get like Keegan Michael Key or something like that.
Oh, you talking about yeah, Key and Peele, those guys. But yeah, Michael Keaton, I believe that's how you pronounce it.
Michael Keaton, yeah. His performance as Toad, I don't know, it's just like it sounded like a middle-aged man just trying to sound like raspy and youthful.
But he is a middle-aged man.
I know, because the character overall, written story-wise, it's great. Because how are you gonna make this Toad stand out more? And it's like, okay, he's the adventurous, brave Toad to a certain extent, obviously.
To a certain extent, yeah.
Yep. That story writing was amazing, and I loved how they tried to distinguish him from like the rest of the Toads. But I don't know.
Yes, they did a really good job distinguishing him as he's the Toad that we're more accustomed to knowing. That's Toad,
Yes.
like before there were several Toads, he's the Toad that we knew. Like that's Toad right there.
Oh yeah. But I don't know, it's just something about the voice. If they could have gotten like a voice actor, like a female voice actor that does like a boyish voice, or like maybe a younger man to do it, then it probably would have rubbed better on me. But he did do a good job to carry it, so I'm not gonna hate him on that. Yeah.
Now let's move on to the main man, because where did you rank Chris Pratt with his Mario impersonation?
Matter of fact,
it wasn't even an impersonation. It's just Chris Pratt as Mario.
I remember making a video on it and ranking it by the original trailer. So just out of curiosity, I wanna see what my original ranking of him was. And I know
if that's changed.
Oh, it's definitely changed. I did not rank him high.
No, I don't remember what it was, but I knew that it was like a super low ranking. You were not impressed at all with what you heard from the initial trailers. You were like, nah, it was what did you say? Passable? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was passable. I was holding him up to the standards of Captain Lou Albano from the Mario TV show, and of course Charles Martinet.
Yeah.
Okay, I ranked him as a C. And that was me being generous. I think it's a high B, almost A.
I agree.
Yes.
I do agree with that. I think after sitting there watching the movie and seeing where they were going, then that was the right choice.
Oh yeah,
Like
definitely.
I'm like, okay, yeah, you would definitely want a more believable Mario, one that's more like a realistic person, you know.
Yeah,
Opposed,
realistic Brooklyn man. Yeah.
yeah, you would that exactly because they came from the real world. So yeah, so no, it made perfect sense in the context of the story and then like his delivery. And there were parts where he sounded like Mario as we've come to know Mario as. Like I wasn't it the Mario Kart thing where did he do the Wahoo? What did he do?
Yeah, it was the Mario Kart thing where he did the Wahoo.
Okay, but there were times where it was like, oh, he sounds just like Mario, you know?
Yep. I believe it was the commercial as well where both, Chris Pratt and Charlie Day did do the stereotypical, like, Charles Martinet video game voice.
Yep.
Yep. And off the side note, that's where Charles came in with his cameo character as, hold on, I believe they called him Giuseppe Jumpman, I believe. which is fitting. They gave, they gave him a good cameo. But overall, Chris Pratt did do a good job.
He did.
Yep. But, okay, and here's the other question. How was Mario written and portrayed? How did you like it?
I don't think I ever gave that much thought. Within the story, he was written well because he was an underdog. You know, nobody believed in Mario. You know, he wasn't Mario like we know. He was, his family didn't believe in him. No one, you know, and he had to overcome that adversity and prove himself. And I thought that was a really good story for him.
Oh yeah, because the only one who believed in him was Luigi, which is which is ironically, and I could be wrong about this, so don't hold me up to this. Ironically, I think in this movie they're twin brothers, but Mario's the oldest. I think.
I don't know.
Yeah,
they may be. I don't know.
Yeah, I might have to rewatch that, but obviously, you know, like I said before, Luigi's the only one who believes in him.
Yeah, he was the only one that had any faith in Mario because everybody else thought he was a bust.
Yep. And this is what I love about this movie because it focused more on the family, which
it did.
Yes, which I personally love. And I do love a good, damsel in distress moment, but when it was focusing more about Mario and Luigi and the brotherly love that they had, I was like, okay, this is nice. This is a fresh take that you don't see in movies anymore.
No, you don't.
Yeah, like a genuine, love for the brother and the
for his brother. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
Yep. Where like that was his goal. That was the driving force behind everything Mario was doing. It was all about saving his brother. Yep. It was nothing technically. Okay, you could say that like him saving his brother also helped the Mushroom Kingdom and Princess Peach, but that's not what his driving force was. The driving force was to save his brother. Everything else just fell in line with that.
Oh yeah, definitely. And especially the climactic point, which was the fight scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because like we said before, where Bowser became like very like ferocious, where he got all like beady-eyed and everything and started beating Mario.
Yeah, he was ferocious. Yeah, it was pretty bad. I was like, oh, he's beating them to a pulp. Like, what the heck?
Definitely. And there was the scene where Mario was all like bruised up, got a black eye and everything. I was like, oh, okay, they're getting a little violent. Okay. I was waiting for like blood and everything now after that.
Yeah, they pushed the boundaries there because Mario got beat up pretty badly by Bowser. And it was to the point where they played to the fact that Bowser is really terrifying. Because when he beat Mario up, that's when Mario was hiding in that store or whatever when they went back to Brooklyn. and Bowser
Yes.
was still in the streets, terrorizing the streets. And I'm just like, yeah, Bowser's a monster. Like, and they played to that, and I like that.
Yep. And this is to me where I had my most fanfare moment, was when Mario and Luigi, both got the star.
I knew what you were gonna say, Shane.
Yes.
And the music played. We didn't talk about that. The music.
I was gonna say,
that's one of the highlights of that movie.
Yes, because the Superstar theme, it felt like I just melted when I heard the
I can tell.
I just melted when I heard that remix. I was like, dang,
Yeah,
this is
like,
good.
They delivered with that soundtrack. Like, if you grew up playing Mario, they got everything in there from 1 all the way to Odyssey. I'm like, everything, every soundtrack is in there to some capacity. And like when they dropped, was it when Bowser came in, when he invaded the penguins, where their little territory, when the ship was coming, it was the music from Super Mario Bros. 3 when you're about to fight one of the Koopas. And it's like, yes. It was great, Shane. It was amazing.
It was.
I felt like a kid again watching it. I'm like, oh, they hit me in the feels.
Oh yeah. Ironically too, there was only like 2 or maybe 3 songs that were not video game.
Okay.
Which was I Need a Hero and Take Me On, I think.
Yeah, but everything else was straight out of the video games.
It was beautiful.
Of course, to a more orchestra level, but it was out of the video game. It was great. What did you think of Bowser and his performances? His musical performances.
Oh, the Peaches.
The Peaches.
Unironically, if you get rid of the comical aspect of it, because it was
great.
Yeah, if you listen to the lyrics, I was like, okay, get rid of like some parts and try to make it more like a pure love song. It's like, yeah, this is a great song.
But Jack Black has a band, right? So I mean, he performs. He sings. I think he's lead singer.
Oh yeah, definitely. But you know why that song is famous, though. It's not because it's good or anything.
Yeah.
Because there was a point where Jack Black started screaming "Peaches" very hard, and it just sounded like the B word at one point.
But no, it was great.
It was. It was. I was like...
And, I also like the handling of the power-ups. How you get the power-up, but if you get hit, you lose the power-up.
Oh yeah, they did incorporate that very, very well.
They did. Yeah, it was great. I'm like, man, they hit all the notes. They hit all the notes in this movie. Everything that you know about Mario, what you think it's there. Like all of it. Like they didn't miss a beat.
Nope. And that's what I love about this movie. Because there isn't an ounce of fat or slow moment. It is just like you said, it is just beat after beat after beat after beat. It is
from the start. And that's what, like, going into it, like, I bought my ticket, right? And I'm looking, I'm like, okay, it says showtime. It's like 1 hour and 39 minutes long. Like, that's a short movie. And I'm just like, will they be able to put everything in there? And when I get there and the movie starts, I'm like, oh, no wonder it's short, because there is no fluff. They cut all the fat. It's just a straight up from point A to B story, and it just continues to progress all the way to the end.
Oh yeah, definitely, and that's what I loved about it.
They took some liberties with it, because in Mario Kart, of course, if your cart gets destroyed, you can't... Well, your cart doesn't technically get destroyed. It'll respawn, but you can't jump from one cart to another. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but no, they did a good thing with that scene, especially unironically, where the Koopa general, the General Koopa, sacrificed himself when he was like, "This isn't over," and he yelled out like "Blue Shell," and he turned basically kamikazed himself.
He kamikazed himself. And you know what? I geeked out a little bit about that, because the whole time they're doing the scene, I'm like, there's gotta be a blue shell. And then when he did it, I was like, he sacrificed himself and he became the blue shell. And the blue shell operated just as you expected it to.
Yep. Oh man, especially too, like if you watch it again, because this stuck out to me before he like rammed into DK and Mario.
The twirl.
Yeah, the twirl and the little, the twirl and like the little clicking sound before he blew up.
It was straight out of Mario Kart.
It was.
Like they didn't miss a beat. It was everything, the audible, everything. I was like, that's the blue shell, and it just twirled around him. And I had the sense of dread that I have as if it was me getting hit with that blue shell in Mario Kart.
Oh man, yep. Great movie.
Yeah, it was great.
So what?
Oh, I loved it.
Oh yeah.
And you know what? You know what was one of the most wholesome moments for me that we have not talked about, and I'm sure you forgot about it. That really was like heartwarming, and I was like, they actually put this in there. Baby Mario and Luigi.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Yes. I was like, I didn't even expect this.
Same here. Yeah, it was good. It was good. Down to the T. I think this was probably one of the movies that I actually enjoyed the most.
Yeah, me too. Best movie this year for me. Granted, I haven't went to see a lot, but that's my movie of the year for sure.
Oh, definitely for me too. Because like I said, I haven't been to the theaters since Detective Pikachu, and I still have some complaints about that. But that goes to show you how uninterested I am in movies now, because they're getting just so but
yeah, they're very generic, and it's a lot of reboots and things like that. So
yep.
Yeah,
however,
but this one was great.
Yes, however, I will still have faith in this series as long as Nintendo is watching Illumination with a fine-tooth comb, just like you said.
They have to. But Illumination has actually been really good with what they made so far. Because then they do the Puss in Boots movie also that did really well.
No, that's DreamWorks.
Who did? What was the other one then that they did?
Illumination did the Despicable Me series, Secret Life of House of Pets, the Sing series.
Well, everything they've done has been good.
Oh yeah, they've been doing pretty well, but you know, I still have my worries when they touch a property like Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah, but Nintendo, look, I'm sure that's a contract. Nintendo has to have say in anything that goes into that movie.
Down to the blade of grass that they put in the scene.
Yep, all of it.
Well, that was our discussion of the Mario movie. As you could tell, I liked it, Spark loved it. And Spark, what do you hope for the next movie or series, whatever comes out of this?
Well, I just hope they expand on what they've already established. The foundation is good, so all they have to do is build. And if they do that, I don't think they'll go wrong. And we'll see where this goes within the universe, because they've opened up endless possibilities where they can expand, and it can venture off beyond just the realm of Mario and Donkey Kong. We may get other Nintendo IPs somewhere down the line. We'll see. But, you know, keep my fingers crossed and just hope for the best.
Oh, I hope so, because there are some good Nintendo IPs that can be good and a little dark at the same time as well. Obviously, like Star Fox and Metroid.
You were gonna throw Star Fox in there for sure. I
had to breathe life into that series,
Star Fox,
man.
Honestly, if they were to do a Star Fox movie, I could see that working.
Oh yeah, definitely, because the story's already there. You just have to make it into a movie, basically.
Yeah, I would more so see them going with knowing Nintendo.
Zelda.
Nope. You're not thinking about what they would probably do in terms of something with broad appeal. it would be Kirby.
Hey, yeah!
Okay, start off with all the wholesome stuff
Yeah,
first.
It would be Kirby.
Yeah.
It would be Kirby, man.
Oh man. Well, all right, guys, that's our opinion. We'll see you later.